Hello, hello. Hey guys. Turn this down a little bit. How's you guys doing? I'll put my stream in the videos channel. I don't want to put it in announcements. Let's see here. Why the second channel? I don't want to stream 2 days in a row on the main channel. And I'm not a YouTuber where I need to make a consistent play, or like I'm not a Let's Player, you know? So I don't need to do a big like continuous stream or anything like that. Have I been sleeping now that the game's released? You know, I've honestly, for the most part, most nights, I usually sleep in anyways. Even when I was working on the game, I would always get... That's the one thing I allowed myself, is to get lots of sleep. Because I don't like to be tired when I'm working, because the work is bad. So I always sleep in, pretty much. That's my biggest luxury that I... Also, I appreciate it, though. I don't take it for granted. I know other people don't get to do that. So I am very particular about my sleep schedule and make sure I always give myself enough rest. So that's something I can never complain about. Like, I always do a good job with that, I think. In terms of having a break from the game, in terms of having a break from game development, I have not really given myself too much of a break, but I did take this weekend off for the most part to just kind of hang out. And I'll be going to dinner tonight as well with my wife, and that's quite nice. So, yeah. Yeah. Sleeping or just passed out in the work chair? No, I am sleeping. I'm getting good sleep. I'm getting good sleep. The thing that I think has been giving me... Act 3 is a little too difficult with Russia on normal. Yeah, I do have to look into Act 3 and see how tough it's going to be. I want to check. I think the biggest part of Act 3 is that reinforcement HQ comes in with no delay, and that can feel kind of unfair. Like, if it was like a 45-day delay before that second HQ comes in, that'd be nice. And the other thing that I think would be good, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm kind of tempted to just do this, is I kind of want to just push the headquarters date back by like 10 to 15 days for all 3 acts. I just think giving players a little more time would be nice. I haven't decided on the exact amount. I might do like 5, 10, 15, or 15, 10, 5, or 10, 10, 10, or 5, 5, 5. I don't know. But I'm playing for myself right now, and I'm min-maxing a lot of stuff where I know the game well, but I still just feel like I don't have time. Like, you can see here, I feel like I just entered this region. I haven't even fought. I fought 2 patrol battles, and the HQ is already going to come on, what, day 124? It's like, I don't have time. This is already after a week being pushed back. So I think for me, the biggest thing is, like, if players just had more time, I didn't even get to explore half the map. Look at all this part of the map I didn't get to explore. I've bolted through all this with Forced March, with the extended visibility. And I pre-revealed encounters, and I still just can't get enough of them. So I just feel like... And you know what? I am playing with a bunch of difficulty modifiers, as you can see. But I just think the players should have a little more time. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because from the way I see it at the moment, I feel like players are struggling on the default difficulty in the way that I intended for them to struggle on the hardest difficulty, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like the current normal experience is really like a slightly hard. Like, if you had 5 difficulties, and you had very hard at the top, and then just slightly hard, and then normal, I feel like our current normal is calibrated on the slightly hard, and that's kind of a problem. Like, the fact that we have to encourage a lot of players to just stick to easy modifiers so much. It'd be nice if the default experience was a little bit more balanced, and that people who didn't play strategy games a lot can still win. But it just feels a little bit tough, and I know if any playtesters are listening, they probably are disagreeing, and they think the game's too easy, but I don't know. I've seen other people play who don't know what's going on, and I don't want to diminish the difficulty of the game at all. I want it to still remain a challenge, but just give it... I just want to ease off some of just some of the pressure is a little bit too tight, and I just want to ease a little bit of that pressure. Even these field armies that chase you, like, I'm not ready to fight 19,000 guys. I have 7k men. So I think just pushing it back a little bit Yeah, OH, you said it doesn't need 45 days, just about 2 weeks. Yeah, just something. I do agree that 45 might be too much. I agree. But, like, I think everything could probably benefit from just being spaced out a little bit more. Just a bit spaced out. But yeah, that's tough. The other thing I'll say is, for the sake of this stream, I've got so much feedback. If you want to come in the stream and then tell me what's broken and what's wrong, I'm aware of it. We're working on it. If it's something that we've never talked about, you can bring it up, obviously. But I know somebody in the chat, I'm not calling you out or anything, somebody in the chat said there's a problem with the AI. I know. I get comments. I mean, every other comment is about the AI. I'm working on it. We're going to have a roadmap, and that should help alleviate some of those issues. But if I took the time to talk about it, 90% of my streams would be sitting there talking about AI and kind of repeating myself over and over, or other numerous issues. Anyways, there's nothing wrong with you bringing it up. I'm just saying I get that comment a lot, and we're aware of it, and we can work on it. I think I'm having a tough time at the moment, not to use this as my little therapy session. I'm not even really complaining or anything, but I'm having a tough time figuring out what the hell to prioritize with this many people coming and playing the game. It gets a little bit difficult in that way. Like, I'm aware of all of your guys' issues, and I'm aware of the high priority ones, but just, like, there's so few people working on the game that sometimes I think, should I hire one more person to help out? Because it's kind of like I think there's more attention on the game than I thought there would have been, and it's really difficult to go through and prioritize everyone's issues and make sure we're moving quickly enough. And I'm almost afraid we're not going to move fast enough, that people write to me that they're like, oh, is the AI ready yet? Is the new AI update? And I'm like, we haven't not even started, because the game just came out 4 or 5 days ago. Like, it's just, just give us a little break. We're working on it. So yeah, I think maybe another developer could be nice. The only thing is, you'd have to train a whole developer on all of this code, and that's going to take a month. And then the current programmer would have to take a month to train them, and then we're going to be even further behind. So part of me feels like maybe people just need to be patient, and we'll get everything fixed and improved in these next 2 to 3 months. And then for the next game, we'll hire a dev fresh on a fresh project, so they don't have to be fully trained on an old one. I kind of think maybe that's a good strategy. Yeah, new players are too afraid of engaging enemy units and stuck in poverty. I do think, Ding Dong, I do think that my most recent update probably helped a little bit with that, because I buffed a bunch of the starting comps and gave out more money to all the comps. So every composition got 100 extra dollars, and they also got better units. Like, the British now get a light dragoon at the start. The Prussians now get a regular dragoon at the start. I also took starvation. You just mentioned that. I took starvation and made the starvation rate 60% slower. So normally you would die in 3 or 4 days, and now it takes weeks to die from starvation. So those things should help as well. I think the last thing, what we'd really need is just to push back the fucking HQ and the field army a bit. In my opinion, only Act 2 and 3 need a pushback. Yeah, you know what I would even say, dude? Is I would even say, like, Act 1 gets pushed back by maybe 5 days, right? 5 days for a mistake. 5 days for if you lost a battle. Because that's just a little bit of extra time for those new players. Act 2 could use, like, 10 days, and Act 3 could even use 15. I wouldn't even mind incrementing it more to give you just more time to find your bearings. Like, here, I mean, personally, I would like another 14 days on Act 2. And I know I'm on difficulty modifiers, but I'd prefer 14. I would even say, I could even be convinced, and I don't know, I'm still thinking about it, so don't take what I'm saying too literally. I could even be convinced to do 1 week in Act 1. And then in Act 2, I'd push it back by 14 days. In Act 3, I could push back by 21. So 7, 14, 21. So 1, 2, 3 weeks. I think that could be kind of nice. Honestly, if the game was never touched again, I feel like I got my money's worth. I know what you mean, Mullen. I do think the game is pretty much complete. And I think a good amount of people probably feel that way too, which is, at least people are talking about, a lot of people are asking me about DLC, which I think is actually a good thing, because if you're asking about DLC for more content, you're probably thinking that the game is fun enough or in a good enough state that you just want more stuff, right? Whereas if people were saying, I don't even want a DLC, dude, you got to fix that. Here, I got 1,500 issues for you to go fix. I don't want DLC. You need to go fix this now. That would mean You know, that'd be worse, right? So I'm not saying there's not things. I'm not saying that the game doesn't need fixing, right, or improvements. But I think with people's fixation on DLC, it does indicate that people appreciate the finished nature of the game, that it's not left in an unfinished state on launch. Or it does. To me, it doesn't feel like an early access game. I think this does feel like a full release. But what's my cursor doing? Where is my cursor? Is it glitching out? It looks fine to me. What do you mean? I haven't been touching my cursor. That's snow. Yeah, that is snow. Oh, you thought I was doing this. Yeah, no, that's just snow that's blowing by. This is probably more interesting to look at, so I'll just sit on the screen while we chat. Yeah, what else did I want to say? Most games come out as a buggy mess with a $70 price tag. Yeah, I know. The battles are on a high level. AI have some issues, but it is already on a level of other RTS. Yeah, I think so too. I think I just want, like, it just is a lot of attention right now, and it's yeah. The other thing, I'm curious what you guys think about this. I'm having a bit of, like, this existential crisis at the moment over, now this sounds like a real therapy session, but I promise it's not. I'm actually just curious what you guys think, but I'm, on my YouTube channel, I'm being pulled on my YouTube channel to work on that as well. And I don't think I can do both at the same time. I don't think I can actually work on my YouTube channel and do the game at the same time. I suppose I can do that, but I don't know if I want to do that. And I don't know what you guys, obviously you'll have a bias because you guys played the game, but like, I'm half tempted. I don't know. I feel like a CEO who's like coming out and you've got a stock price and they say something inappropriate and just crash their whole stock price by doing this. But like, I am really tired of doing YouTube, and I would like to be able to focus on the game and just wake up. And like today I had to wake up, and my focus from now until getting on today was doing recordings and catching up on YouTube recordings. But I wish it was not the case. Let a trusted young lad do the YouTube channel for us, yeah. Maybe take a break from YouTube, yeah. And switch. The thing is, switching between YouTube and development, I don't know. And what would happen to HTV? You're right, Jack. I don't know what would happen to that either. I guess part of me is tempted, like, to maybe keep my website up and maybe just make a video a month, like one video a month on the website, and just stop doing YouTube. And the people who pay for the content on the website, you know, I would get compensated. Like, I'm giving them a video, they give me money, where there's a transaction and it's worth it. On YouTube, I'm putting out a video and it frequently loses me money. And I'm feeling like I'm doing something right now that I don't know. I'm like committed to it simply because I've been doing it, not because I want to or need to do it anymore. And it's kind of a scary position because I was in college and I was in my first year of school and I made my first YouTube check, and I knew when I got my first YouTube check that that I saw potential in it, and I thought, if I got $2,000 for my first ever sponsorship, and if I made 4 videos a month, and I can earn enough off of that's more than what a teacher would be earning if I was a history teacher, that I'd be getting about $8,000 a month. That's a perfectly great salary, and that's my first ever sponsorship check. What if that sponsorship was worth $3,000 or $4,000, and I was doing 3 or 4 videos a month? And I knew in college. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, by the way, before that happened. So I've been slowly chipping away at it. But I knew at that moment, I was like, everyone's going to tell me, continue doing college and see how it goes first. But I kind of knew I was like, I know this will work, and I'm going to go against everyone's advice and just fucking jump out and I'm going to move out of my parents' place, find some random little apartment, and then just work every hour of every day nonstop and just go do it. And I think a lot of people dream about being able to do something like that. And it's somewhat irresponsible, but I was doing my hobby, and I made the first money from it, and I saw the potential. I was like, the sponsorship, they asked me. I didn't even contact them. Like, imagine if I was sending out emails and actually pursuing this. So I had that moment where that realization, I knew I could do it. And it was risky, but I jumped out and I made it work. And there's a little bit of luck and a lot of effort involved, and it worked out. And it was scary, but it worked. And I've done YouTube for 8 years, and I've seen my YouTube channel grow, and I've seen it decline. And I'm kind of at the point on YouTube where my views are. I am on YouTube right now for the sake of continuing the channel, not because I have anything important to say, not because there's a fun video to make, not because there's a really important video to make, not because there's a video that a lot of people want to see, not because it's making money, not because it's a profitable business venture. I'm pretty much just doing it because I was doing it before. So I think am I being boring with this thing, by the way? I don't know if I'm wasting time. I know I should be playing the game, and we should be chatting about the game and stuff, but and I promise I'll shut up soon about it. But I know in my head I want the right answer. I want permission for someone to go, yeah, dude, drop everything and just do the game full time. That's what you're meant to do. That, I think, is in the back of my head, I want permission for someone to tell me that. In the same way that when I was in college, I called my family members, my friends, and I was waiting for someone to give permission to be like, you should do it, man, and give me some inspirational speech. But no one did. Everyone said, you need to stick into college and wait it out. And yes, that you got a $2,000 sponsorship check, but it could have been luck, and there's no guarantee you'll get it again. So stay in school and make sure you get your degree, and that's the most sensible option to do. And I was like, you know what, though? I know deep down I can do it, and it's also a luxury opportunity that very few people are going to have handed to them, and I might as well jump out and just attempt it. So I've done YouTube so long that I feel like I just want to leave. By the way, guys, this stream, this is like the most, it's so fulfilling to talk to you guys, and I get to interact, and I get to see how you, and I act frustrated, or sometimes I'm rude, and things like that I will improve, okay? But I love this. I'm so happy doing this. Even this stream here. Also, the fact that 75 people show up on a little Sunday stream is so cool to me. I think that's so cool. And I appreciate it so much, and it really is meaningful in a really deep way. And I think I felt that way when I did YouTube at first, and it was really fun, and I met great people, and I had these animators, and we've created these amazing videos, and I got to make things that I dreamt about making and talking about, and expressing my favorite parts of history and my interests, and we got to do it, and it worked, and some of those videos got millions of views. And sponsors were loving it, and viewers were loving it, and it was so fun to do. But, it feels as though, in a creative way, that, like, it'd be like a musician who composed 10 albums, and you made everything you have to say. Any other song you write is just for the sake of doing it any further. And I suppose on YouTube, it feels like I have nothing more to say. I am creatively spent in a way where by the way, I'm barely involved in the YouTube projects anymore. At this point, since crunching on the game in the last 3 months, where I've delegated so much responsibility in the last 2 to 3 months, really to hone in and make sure the launch was as perfect as possible. All I'm doing now are just the recordings right now. I'm supposed to do more, and if I don't do more, the channel will probably die, because I need to actually give oversight and find ways strategically to improve it. But the issue is, earlier this year, you know what? I think it would make it interesting for the sake of transparency as well. Well, I'll get to that later, but earlier this year, I tried a lot of different formats on this channel. I tried short videos that were like 11 minutes, and they'd only get 200,000 views, right? And I tried what-if videos, and maybe I could just barely get 400K after 7 months. And then I tried more alternate history videos. Sometimes it works, right? Then I released an old documentary, and that one did very much work. And then I tried these long 30-minute videos, and they didn't really work. 3 months to get 300,000 to 400,000 views sounds like a lot, but it's not. The game can sell 10,000 copies. If you made a game for $40, or let's say $30 at 10,000 copies, you get 300K. So 10,000 people can generate you $300,000. That's like life-changing money for a job that you can keep doing. You can keep making more games, and they can compound off of each other. And that's just 10,000 people. On YouTube, if you don't get 1 million people, then you will not be able to earn a sustainable amount. Like, for as much as the channel brings in, I spend that exact same amount on making the videos. So they don't really do anything from the time I invest and what I get out of them. There's nothing really, which would be fine if I really was passionate about it, but I don't feel as interested. And someone said, Paco says I could sell the channel, but doesn't that feel a bit like, doesn't it feel, I don't want to say like perverted. What's a better word? Not perverted, but like, isn't there something that's seemingly wrong about someone coming into my space and taking it? It's like the channel is part of me, and I'm like growing up in the videos in a way. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at my old, where did I first go on camera? I think it was on my Venice video, or Italy. It's like it's a part of me that if I gave that to someone, it's kind of like someone like is living in my childhood home, or you know, like something is like wrong. It's like mine, and it's kind of deeply. Look, this is little Griffin, who's 17 and in college. I would record this in a college lecture room, and this was one of my first sponsors. And I don't know. I don't want to give that. I don't know. I don't want to give that away. If something feels wrong about it, I know I could probably make a lot of money off of the channel and selling it, but something seems wrong about it. I don't know. Sell it to me, yeah. And I'm reading what you guys are saying, but yeah, you have to consistently produce something to stay relevant. That's the other thing too. I'm not, Sarge, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that, yeah, sorry. When is the gameplay starting? I am sorry. I shouldn't be doing this. You know what we'll do is I will have the game running in the background. I'll just chat. Just so I'm not doing nothing. I shouldn't be airing my, thoughts on this, in the way that I am. What I am doing, by the way, is I'm playing this composition very tall. I only want 3 brigades out of 5, and I'm going to try to get everyone excellent quality items and just fill all these out. That's like my goal. So I have 900 talers, and I want to fill all these out. That's what I want to do. I'll say my closing thoughts, and then I will play the game, and we'll chat, and maybe you could even bring up other things too and stuff, and we can still go back and forth. But it says game stands at 1.2 million revenue. That is true. The game in gross revenue, before Steam takes a 30% cut, VAT fees, taxes, refunds, and a 30% cut I'm giving to my developers, made $1.2 million in gross revenue. Now, I don't get that much. I'm probably going to earn like 400,000, I think, on it, which is still awesome. In 5 days, by the way, because the game will... Fire Maneuver generates $1,000 a month for me. Or it's more like $600 a month. And that game was a complete failure. So if this game is good and fun, and it's generating monthly revenue for me passively, it can help finance the next game. And no, I am more than happy with how much the game earned. And yeah, I won't try to hide that amount, because you can figure it out anyways. You can look at the amount of reviews and the amount of players, and then you can kind of probably figure that out anyways. How much Master Command cost $200,000 to make? It probably, here's the thing, it cost $200,000 to make, and I had no salary. If I had a salary, a basic one, maybe it's like 360 or 260,000. If you include miscellaneous costs, it's probably up to like 350,000. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say 200K because that's roughly the ballpark of what it costs. And yeah, so the game's already made back what I've spent on it, but you know what I'll say is I would like to dedicate my life to this, and I think I don't want to do anything else at all. So, but I don't want to leave and abandon, my channel, and I feel bad about it. So I don't know what that means though. Yeah. Okay, that's my closing thought. There's my little therapy session for you guys, and hopefully that wasn't too obnoxious. But the other thing I want to do is I want to take all the money that the game makes, and I just want to put it back in. I do need to take some of the money for myself, because when I was earning money on YouTube, I never took any of the money for myself. I took enough to get my own home, and that was it. That was my independence. I got my own home. But the clothing I'm wearing right now is from high school. I have one pair of shoes. Like, I don't really buy things, and I don't save money enough, and that's a problem. I think you guys also. As I'm approaching 30, I realize I should have been saving a little money, and I just spend because I get so excited on reinvesting. And it's good to keep reinvesting, because look what I reinvested into the game, and then the game made the money back, and it worked. But you do eventually have to take something for yourself and be smart, and that's something I do need to do. But I do want to take the money that this game earns and then put that back into the next one, and then take the money that game earns and put it back into the next one and keep going. Of course, set some aside for myself and to live comfortably, not in luxury, but just enough that I'm comfortable and happy, and use the rest to just keep building off of this. But I really would dedicate myself. I would give myself to this. I don't know how else to say, but I would really love. I have ideas in my head for what I can do with this, that this is not the fullest potential of what we can achieve. And I can really imagine something amazing that we can create. And I'm only 27, 26. I don't remember my age. It's one of those. And I really feel like, I really do believe, again, when I had the thought when I dropped out of school, that I knew in my head what I could create with the videos, and not in a way that I was smart and special and I'm really important. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying I saw the path forward to what that could be, and I have a similar feeling. That's all I'm meaning to say here. Is I have a similar feeling that I know what you guys like, I know what you enjoyed about the game, I know what you don't like about the game, and I know what I love in doing, and I really would love to just dedicate myself to this, and nothing else matters. I don't need a foreign investment. I don't need to sell this off. I don't need to pursue a trend. I'm sort of hyper fixated and a little obsessive in just, I know exactly what I want to do and what I want to create, and just keep building off of this sort of format. And really, if I stopped working at, or if I stopped at 40 years old and just looked back, I mean to say, on what I did, I would not feel any regret if I gave literally my 30s, partially, I would say, half to family and the other half to just making fulfilling work through this and creating really cool games. Those are the two things that are important to me: is starting a family and having a game series like this that I can really pour myself into and make something for you guys. I really care about crafting an experience that you guys have fun on. That is like a little drug for me. When you guys have fun on something like this, I'm so obsessed with that no money in the world really. I don't mean to sound like I'm trying to be humble or what. I don't know. However you may interpret this, but I was like so depressed like 2 days after the game came out, because I was reading some of the negative reviews, and they did upset me, that despite what the game had earned, which was so financially successful, it was beyond any of our metrics and beliefs of what the game could be, that feeling of sadness towards what the people who didn't like the game, that sort of overcame any of the joy that could have been for the financial success on paper, in a way that and that's normal, and I'm over it, by the way. I'm over it, and I'm happy, but in a way where it was not as though the game made a lot of money and I said, I don't give a fuck what these people think. We're rich, baby. It was not that. It was like oh, I really hope I didn't let these people down. And that's really all I care about. And I just want I want people to have fun, and I want to make something. I really love making things that people have fun with, and I don't need. I could live the rest of my life very modestly, and I don't need. For Fire Maneuver, I didn't take one paycheck, and again, that's not a humble whatever way you want to misconstrue that, but in Fire Maneuver, I did not take one paycheck for myself ever during the creation of the game or post-release. I've still not given myself any money from that. And for Master of Command thus far, like during the whole development of that game, I did not give myself any money from that as well. But I really, really, and through the failure of Fire Maneuver, still pursued obsessively this goal that I'm really, truly obsessed with that. And I think I want to make something for you guys, and I may fuck up a few times. Like, I'm sure there'll be an update for this that you guys won't like, or I'm sure there's a game I work on in the future that were parts of it you don't like, and that's going to happen. There's going to be, because I'm not a gifted, perfect individual who's good at doing all of this, and that's fine, but I really would dedicate myself to this. So that's sort of the thoughts that have been going in my mind, and I feel like I'm pulled a bit thin in other directions at the moment, between things like YouTube, and I don't believe it's sustainable to be able to do YouTube as a full-time job and this, and I don't know what that means, though. I don't know what it means. I'm going to take the weapons or the ordnance. I'm going to take the ordnance and get lucky. I did not get lucky. Damn. See, I'm trying to play the game and not make this a big therapy session. I know that sounded kind of like a big therapy rant, but oh, look at this. We have the heart. That Hearts and Minds doctrine gets you so many good encounters, and I like that it does. I think that's a fun design. But look at this. I'm getting these excellent items, and I'm playing into all excellent items now. So I've only have 3 brigades, and I want 9 veterancy on everything and excellent items and everything. That's my goal. I'm trying to not make this all me fucking rambling and shit, but I would really love an endless option as well, Raul. That's on our list. That's definitely on our list. Griffin becoming a full-time streamer, yeah. Sandbox mode. I do agree. That is definitely on my list. I would really like to do that too. Another person with the endless. I know, guys. I know, absolutely. But yeah, I hope that's not... If you has a great coat, they can enable it or customize it and even color it. That's a cool idea, Reingard. I don't think I would... The thing about it is I don't think I would add updates like that unless the game was in such a perfect state. It's so perfect that we couldn't even think of what else to add. Like if you had time to work on the infinite mode that other people were talking about, that you can keep playing over and over and just keep going with a big sandbox mode. If you had time to dedicate to that, or you choose between that and doing like great coat customization, I would definitely pick the endless mode. But the endless mode is going to take weeks and weeks to make, and perhaps months to refine. And there's so few people that I don't have. With Fire Maneuver, I had 3 programmers, so I could put them all on different tasks. With this one, it's 1 programmer at the moment, so we're really restricted at the moment through the size of the team, which is why I've debated expanding the team. I'm not sure. But yeah. I wouldn't take any interns. I've kind of learned through experience that I don't like when people who are 18 or under are working on the project. I like people who are finished school and want to dedicate themselves to the game. The people I have now are like the people who would stay up all night and make sure everything is as perfect as possible. And I don't know how else to describe it, but when you give yourself to something, you are putting yourself in it, that if something was wrong with you, you would address that. If you had a health problem or something like that, and if something is wrong with the game, you address that, because it's like it's a problem with the game. Like you've poured yourself into it, and you'll make sure you really care about it. Those are the people that are important to me, that are on the game, who get rewarded for it, and who will stick with us long term, and will help create the thing. But I don't want to bring in an intern who doesn't give a fuck, who stays there for a week or a month and is sloppy and then leaves, and we wasted the time training them. And that's happened to us a few times, and I don't really enjoy that. So I really we'll probably put out some kind of hiring thing later and look for people who really want to dedicate themselves to it, who will also maybe eventually get a stake in the game too. I'd rather have I kind of envision a small team with no publisher, where instead of giving the 30% to a publisher, I give the 30% to the people working on it, and then they really care about it because you're being rewarded for putting in that effort. I really care about that more than a bunch of employees who don't care about the project they're working on, and then a big publisher who's going to take 30% and then is marketing the game and they don't care about it, and then you don't care about the people you're working. And at that point, who the fuck even cares? So I don't want to do that. I think I like when everyone cares about each other and about the game that they're working on, and that is like a very important thing to make sure a project is finished with a real sense of passion and commitment. So part of the problem with internships is that they're used and fired after a short time. Yeah, the thing is, Paco, is every time I've worked with an intern, really at all, they stay with us for at most a year, find another opportunity at a big company, and then we'll just do that. Like, they just use it as a stepping stone, and that's fine. For that purpose, it's fine. But I would say for the game, I don't want someone who's going to be an intern. I'd rather pay somebody and really see if they get committed to it and see if we work well with them, and then really integrate them in. So that would be nice. I can be the janitor, yeah. What does a publisher do for indie games? They give you exposure and marketing, and usually they will spend a lot of money on marketing. Some publishers I spoke to said that they would invest like $100,000 or $200,000 with no recoup just on the marketing alone, which is kind of crazy. Because I did not spend a single dollar on the marketing for this game, and it ended up having a pretty wide reach, bigger than I thought it would be. So if you can imagine now a publisher throwing $100,000 behind it, or more, then they really can market the game and take it to the next level. But I don't really need that, because I feel like it's better that the game only is advertised to people who care about it and want to play it. So, yeah. But no, I have not paid for any advertising. I think it's just better to make good connections and be friendly with people and collaborate and that sort of thing. All right, well, I got everything off my chest, I suppose, and I will be, I'll give these guys beer. Like that. Drink beer and win battles, yep. But yeah, the theme of this is I'm just going to keep 3 brigades, that's it. And I'll probably recruit a couple reservists, though, to keep in the back. We have our Cameron Highlanders. Word of mouth is the best kind of advertising. Yeah, I do agree, honestly. I'll give these guys the elevation screws, and they can fire at 425s. The howitzers now outrange our bronze guns. And then we don't want this. We want to sell that off. And I have these 3 items remaining. They just have T. Who is going to... This guy is just in charge of charging, yep. And he's already got great spirit rations. I have heavy dragoons here, one of whom just has a sword, so I can give him the charge with less accuracy. And then we have large haversacks. I haven't seen a howitzer in action yet. Yeah. I think they're pretty decent. I do have to just improve a lot of the iron guns, because the iron weapons just seem to be underperforming so much more than the bronze. I do need to do another artillery reform, which is going to be annoying, but hopefully now that I have less things to work on the game, in terms of like finishing it, because it's out, I could just spend a week on artillery balancing and nothing else, which could be really cool. I bought 3 copies of the game. My friend and brother I gifted love the game. Oh, that's so cool, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' feedback, and I appreciate that you guys are very kind, and that's nice of you to say. For you to... I like games, but I don't really tell people... I don't go and talk to the developers and tell them I like it or anything, you know, I just play it and I like it. But for you to join the stream and leave a nice compliment, that's very nice of you. So that's very kind. I appreciate it. Of course, it's not a perfect game. I don't think it's a perfect game. But yeah, you guys saying what you like about it and that you enjoy it, that's a very kind thing to do. So it is appreciated. The correct abbreviation for the Order of the Garter is KG. Oh, that's cool. Let's do it. We're giving Granby the KG because he like saved one of my boss battles. It's not a Total War killer, but it killed Empire Total War, yeah. Do you like playing this, by the way? What do you mean, do I like playing my own game? Like this? I'm having fun. Do I mostly play it for marketing? I enjoy it. I want to come back to the save because I want to see if I could beat it. I've never beaten it with only 3 brigades. I want to see if that's possible. So I thought that would be a fun challenge for myself. And I've never, like, leaned into playing tall. I usually don't even equip many items, and I just try to get a full stack army. But I want to see if I can beat it. These guys are my guards, who are supposed to be focused on, like, morale and shooting. These dudes... That guy's on, like, reload. This guy could also be reload. These guys could be just fast. I think there'd be nothing wrong with that. These guys are, like, charging and melee focused. In fact, I would give the Irish guy the proper bayonet then. There. Have you beaten it with 4 brigades? I've beaten it with 5 always. So I want to see if I can beat it with 3. And then we can give somebody a big morale buff. Let's give him the morale buff. And give him that. And then tons of stamina. Who's got the lowest stamina right now? I wouldn't mind if my fast shooting guys could also run for a while. So like they sprint up and just unload. I think that'd be pretty cool. I unlocked 3 British achievements all in one, having 6 cavalry with carbines, 6 Highlanders, and then 3 brigades that could attack 3. That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm glad you're enjoying the thought we put into the achievements, because some people who play, and especially those who might have a negative impression of the game, open it up, never look at the achievements, and say what they don't like about it and leave. And I think some people don't realize that, like, there is a lot of fun in pursuing some of these achievements, that you can, like, combo them and synergize them and unlock cool stuff, and I think that is quite cool. I remember when random unannounced Sunday stream got 20 viewers. Yeah, I know. Yeah, JJ, yeah, we would do... By the way, for everybody who's here, that's so cool. Thank you guys for... I didn't even put out a ping. So everybody who's just hanging out, I love that you're here. Thank you so much. And I would do streams like this, and there'd be like 10 people here. Like JJ also said he remembers when there were like 20 viewers. That's so cool you guys are here. Welcome, and thank you. And the game's already out, so you guys normally would be gone, right? But you guys have stuck around. The game's out, and I just want to say thank you again, yeah. We are replenishing our army, but we're running at the same time. I do want to fight that other army. Oh, shit, dog. I don't mind fighting the 10k. Yeah, that's not a bad battle. 8k versus 10k. Let's beat this, replenish, and then fight the other one. And it's mostly artillery. That's not bad. Mostly iron gun artillery. I can take this on. Let's do it. Lost the first Battle of Act 2 because I was completely exhausted my ammo supply. Yeah, that's tough. I feel like this game gives you of the losses of combat replacements possible officer losses. So I don't know what you mean by that, sorry. Any chance we get the Ottomans? I don't know, I don't think so. I think they're too off the map for that. Alex Burns is streaming. I feel like I keep interrupting his streams and stealing his viewers. I gotta give them... Oh, no, they're normal. I think these guys are wearing the wrong uniform. See, I prefer that, the white trousers and black, rather than the red trousers and white. So I'll swap those guys out and fix their uniforms later. My units are quite small at the moment. Where are we fighting? There's a big field here. I will move these guys up to that hill. Not much ammo on this artillery, though. That's a shame. I'm going to just retreat off the battlefield as soon as the battle begins, then. Where's my cav? I should have 3 cav, shouldn't I? There they are. Let's just form a battle line along, like, that axis. Bring the howitzers up, too. Here we are. Ah, the Kana are cool because I gave them the yellow trousers. How many DLC or free editions do you think there'll be? I don't know yet what I want to do with... I don't know what I want to do yet with expansions and things. You know, Marco, I think, like... I would say this is... Not that this is off record, but this is unconfirmed. Like, I don't know. So if you repeat this information just could be completely wrong. So I wouldn't necessarily repeat this information unless you qualify it. But I would say there's a likely chance of what we do is that we try to get out like a free nation by the end of the year, maybe, if we're lucky. But maybe that would be January instead, I don't know. And then we would make our first DLC in Q1 of next year. See how it does. And if it kind of bombs or doesn't really, it just like earns back whatever is put into it and doesn't really do anything, then maybe we would then spend a couple months after that just kind of cleaning up the game, and then that's it. So I would say like we're looking at a near guarantee, I gotta spread out, of the game being supported for like 6 months. But like I said, if you repeat that, what if we want to support it for a year? Or what if we only want to support it for 3 months? I don't know. So the 3 months are guaranteed. That's something that you can repeat. We're going to support it for 3 months full time, guaranteed, no matter what happens. Even if all the players left tomorrow, that's what we're going to commit to. But beyond that, I don't know what we'll do. And with some things, this is kind of a shitty answer, but with certain things, you're better off making a new game rather than trying to update this. And what I mean by that is simply when people say things like, oh, why can't the game be fully 3D and you have a fully rotatable camera, or add a grand campaign that looks like Empire Total War to it and naval battles. Like those things, that's not a DLC, that's not an update, that's just a new game at that point. So what I will say is like, we're not going to update this in any way that makes it a new game. The game is what it is, but I'm willing, oh jeez, those cannonballs. I'm willing to update the game to build off of what we already have. I don't know to what extent. I will say for right now, it feels unlikely that I would be doing... Damn, this might be a little bit tough to just fight these guys in a line battle, because my manpower is very low. I'm going to pull off the hedge and pull them in, and then run up to the hedge. But anyways, I think it is unlikely that we add, like, America in, to be honest, because we'd have to, like... If you really think about the logistics of trying to add in the North American continent, you need to basically redo the campaign system and have like 2 types of mission boards across multiple continents, or just have one brand new mission board. And then you'd have to add like a brand new fog of war system to get the French and Indian War to work. And then you'd have to create like an auxiliary unit and a new regiment designer for Native American units with like face paint and stuff. That would be kind of difficult. And then what do they do when they have flags? How do the flags work on native units? That has to be changed. Then you need a more robust melee system. You need to add like tomahawks, and you need like and add bow and arrows, and then the bow and arrows need to arc, and they need to fire projectiles in an arc, and there's like that's a lot of work. That I don't know if that's worth, that just sounds like a new game, So that is the challenge I have now, is finding out, or trying to figure out at the moment, what is basically a new game and what is just a pure improvement off of what we're doing. I'm still figuring that part out. Okay, these guys are all firing. How's their cavalry? They've got hussars and stuff. I'm gonna take my dragoons and everything, move them to the left, move this guy up, and then move my dragoons to the right. What is more likely, Saxony, HRE, or Sweden? I would say, again, this is unconfirmed, so if you get excited about this or repeat it, you could just be completely outdated and wrong. But I think it is highly likely that we have the HRE in and Sweden and the HRE to include Saxony, and to have all of those things in. That to me is kind of my goal, to finish the game. And then anything we add beyond that point is just bonus luxury stuff. There's no guarantee that'll make it in. Like adding Spain, or adding the Ottomans, or adding other stuff and expanding the map, and then redoing all the mechanics and all those things. That's just bonus that I don't know if we'll get to. But yeah, I really do want to try to get the HRE in, and I want to get in Sweden as well. And then I would call the game fully complete and realized in the way that I've wanted it. And then in addition to that, I'd want like new doctrines, new skills, new items, just lots of little new things to create builds, and to have more customization on like the way you create your army. And then, yeah. And then what you're saying, Flintlock, about adding like flag bearers and drummers, that again is the thing where it's like, I am so buried in feedback that I would probably tell the programmer to really focus in on AI improvements primarily, and content improvements. If we were to add in a brand new system to support flag bearers and drummers and fifers, and then to have to optimize the game to do that, that would be taking several weeks away to create that, and you guys would get nothing else beyond that. And by the way, 90% of the game is played from this top-down perspective where you don't even see those things. So I don't think that... fuck, I held fire at point... Yeah, I fucked up. Can they... Okay, yeah, we can shoot with our rear lines. There we go. Like, I don't know if it's worth... Damn, these Highlanders are getting fucked up. I don't know if it's worth, in my mind, taking the development time to do like flag bearers and stuff when I could spend that time on something else, like the AI, or like more content, or like mechanical improvements, or improving the melee, or improving the balance, or adding more types of weapons, or adding new items. Like those things sound more worthwhile as an investment in my mind. But the issue is primarily the way that these units are batched, and the way that the unit system was built. I can't retreat those guys, unfortunately. That it's just not very practical to do that. Like, even if you guys have played Ultimate General Civil War, right? They did Ultimate General Gettysburg and Ultimate General Civil War, and Ultimate General Civil War was a multi-million-dollar game made by not a much larger team, but a larger team, and it was their second RTS game, and they didn't even have flags at all over their regiments. Like, these flags here, they didn't even have those. So they didn't have flag bearers, or drummers, or fifers, or anything. It's a tough thing to do, and to make sure the game has good performance with it. Just because you're supporting like multiple animation types and multiple types of models within a unit, it's harder to do from a technical perspective. And so you're basically requiring a lot of work. And that work could have gone into like, could you imagine the disappointment where you said, hey guys, we were going to have an improved AI system with like different AI personalities you could fight, but instead we added a flag bearer model so it looks more like they're holding the flags. And then someone's like, oh, I didn't really zoom in anyways. So, but we're not going to have better AI? And you go, oh, no, yeah, no, we decided to focus instead on the flags. Which isn't a way to I'm not trying to dismiss your recommendation, but I'm just trying to give you insight on, like, if there were only a few things we could focus on due to the small nature of the development team and the time that we have, it's just not something I would necessarily prioritize, I would say. That's more of like a luxury task where you have so many things that are done, you can't even think of what more to add to the game. But I could think of a lot more to add to the game. I could think of, like, it'd be cool if there were weather effects. It could be cool if you could continue your campaign past Act 3. It could be cool if you could design your own compositions. It'd be cool if you could have a Steam workshop. It'd be cool if the players had access to the map editor. It'd be cool if players could create their own nations. It'd be cool if the AI had different personality profiles based on the nation they were playing as. It'd be cool if the melee system was even more dynamic and fluid and improved. It'd be cool if balance was improved so that more artillery types were viable. I could just list a million things that could probably take like 2 or 3 years to do all of those things together, right? But that's a lot of time to do all of those things, and that's where we have to prioritize, take a step back and prioritize what's actually possible, what do we have the time to accomplish, and what is more important, what's the community going to want and be excited for the most. So I'm definitely taking the casualty restoration here. And I didn't expend too much ammunition. I won that battle pretty nicely. And I think the quality build I'm going for is starting to pay off a little bit. And I can go right in the town, which is nice. They have a really shitty resale cost, so I probably won't resell anything. I'm considering picking up 1 unit before I leave this region to have in reserve in case I need one. Like a Hanoverian foot could be nice. But you know what? I want to get everybody to gold tier items. That was my goal. Don't forget the pants. You're right. Yeah. Let's do white trousers and a white waistcoat. And I would like the cross belt to be black. I think that'd be cool. That's neat. And at the stable, do all my cavalry have excellent horses? They have them and they don't. So I want excellent horses for my others. I want the... I'm going to call these guys... I'm going to call them like cuirassiers. They're going to be my version of cuirassiers. What number am I on? I got 58th, 7, 88, 79th. First King's Dragoon Guards. Let me just check what I want to call them. And let's do... First Troop Horse Grenadiers. And call these guys Second Troop Horse Grenadiers. Now we have this strict thing to gain veterancy. We have stamina and reload. This is more for charging on the right, it seems, but it also gives fire by rank, so it's not for charging. I'd move this cavalry over, and I'd separate them up. That's for reload time. Yeah, and this guy is focusing on reload, so why don't we move him out and then move him over. And this is my new kind of composition here, where we have our Highlanders and our Weymouth troops. And then our main household brigade has got our cavalry and the Chertsey foot, who are focusing on reload speed, which is good because this guy has good reload stuff. We need to get carbines for all of our cavs, so they're always shooting. And then our line brigade is just our standard stuff on the side. And that guy does need to get a promotion soon. These Highlanders tend to get chewed up, but yeah, I feel like my Grenadiers all need earthworks because they get chewed apart. And I want them to defend themselves a bit better. I have cuirasses, breastplates. And for my Horse Grenadiers... I'm going to give them... We'll call them the blues, and we'll call these guys the reds. And our blue Horse Grenadiers will have that. And our red Horse Grenadiers will have that. Like that. I think that's cool. And then on our flag pattern, we'll keep this. It could be cool to do that with gold. Can we do like a gold border? I don't think so. Not really. So we'll just do this. And then we will edit the facings on these troops. They're currently yellow. We'll make them blue. Like so. And a nice white crossbelt. And then the reds will wear red. And a nice white crossbelt. The coat color could even be blue. Because some British cavalry did have blue. That's cool. I like that a lot. Look at the inversion there. And then we just have our King's Dragoon Guards, Granby. So that's neat. I like that. Oh, I clicked the wrong application. Would be cool if you could actually earn medals. Yeah, I did think about that. I wouldn't even mind if they didn't give any bonuses, because I feel like it's already pretty easy to stack a lot of bonuses on your unit. But it would be cool if you could just assign medals to officers and regiments just for roleplay reasons. If you had to change one thing about the game magically, I'll give you a small answer and a big answer. I would say the small answer would be that it would... Maybe the small answer would be that this is not quite a non-specific answer, but maybe there could be slightly more... Ah, gosh, my answers are going to bleed into each other then. All right, I'll give you a genuine small answer. Small answer is right now, I think it'd be nicer to have more AI personality. Or, you know what? I'll give you a better answer. I would actually... Because I know what AI personality is coming, but something that's not coming is I wish the graphics were a bit more 3D in the battles, that you could like fully rotate them and the buildings were fully 3D. We could have done it early on if we were smarter. Wouldn't have been that hard, but now it's too late to do. And then the bigger answer is that I would like the campaign to be more sandboxy and open-ended and like freeform. But that's obviously was outside the budget. But those are like the magical answers that will probably not be done. I want to get some ammunition. And then the other thing I want to do is get... So the reds will be focused on charging, and the blues will be focused on something else, I suppose. Actually, they look like the blues. And they look like the reds. There. My reds will be focused on charging, and the blues can focus more maybe on shooting, and then this guy's just an all-rounder. Can we have more reserve slots? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I think red for charging is... Red is more aggressive color, so I think red is a good charging color. What do you guys think? Or does blue look a little heavier for a charge? What do you guys think? My reds and blues. Shooting is more diplomatic, so it fits blue. That's funny. Sorry, I'm just checking a few messages. That's all. I'm back, though. Yeah, we'll go red for charging, because they look more aggressive. And so... You know what, though? You know, I'm going to actually go back on my word. The regular Dragoons, so I'm using these guys for shooting, wear red, and these guys wear red. And so I feel like my red troops can... I think my red troops can focus on shooting, and then the one blue cavalry, the only blue cav I have, can focus on charging. I'll go back on my word. I'll give them the heavy saddle. I like that. So this is my heavy cavalry, and the red will be light cavalry. So blue is going to get the breastplate, too. I like that. Look, breastplate with a heavy saddle. And then I want good swords for all of these guys. I really want an excellent quality basket hilt sword, but I don't have one. Let's do an excellent light saddle. I'll buy one of those. I just want to really load up my cav and make them better. Does anybody need a better gun? I do need a better gun. I would not mind getting... Yeah, the land pattern, the issue is the range kind of sucks on it. Tula, I don't really need because I'm not charging. I wouldn't mind a Tula for my Highlanders. I do want an excellent land pattern for my cavalry. A good bayonet would be nice. I like the Neustadt because it has good range and charge, so I'm not outranged all the time. Then again, though, this land pattern has a range of 138. My current range, that's 135. So yeah, a good land pattern actually does come with good range. So I wouldn't mind upgrading because you get the good accuracy, and the range is actually good because it's an excellent quality weapon. So I'll pick that up too. At the foundry, do I need to replace... I need to replace the iron gun because iron guns suck. And I don't think I can afford anything good right now because they're too expensive. So I can come back for that later. I don't want to do any of those. A big bag of glass grenades does sound good. Buck and ball for cavalry, that's also a good idea. And then bastions for my grenadiers. Well, nah, I don't need that. I kind of like the huge bag of good quality glass grenades. And to give that to my Highlanders so they have shit to throw. Actually, I might give it to the Weymouth because they're long range. So Weymouth can throw those grenades from afar. And I opened the slot up, but that's fine. We'll fill it up later. And then buck and ball we're going to give to our Granby cavalry. And probably replace their silver light saddles. Didn't I buy a better light saddle? Yeah. Granby's going to get the good... Look at that, all excellent. I'm going to get rid of the horseshoes because they're not as important and give them buck and ball. And then we're going to give that light saddle to the Reds. And we'll give them the excellent horseshoes. And then I have these very good bayonets, which I'm going to give to my Highlanders. So my Highlanders have the best bayonets. And then I want to give this land pattern, excellent land pattern, to the Weymouth Foot Guard. Like so. They need more items generally. For now, yeah, I don't know. I don't have more items for them, but I do need to stack up this Foot Guard. Don't sleep on Bibles. Yeah, Bibles are very good. Why don't I upgrade the Highlanders? Because I kind of like them being like a level 9 shooting Highlander. I don't want to lose... 200 manpower and my accuracy. So it's mainly for roleplay. I just like the uniform, and I want them to remain as regular Highlanders and not as Grenadiers. But it's also because I like the manpower amount. My other Highland Grenadiers are just getting chewed apart, so... but yeah, we could definitely replace these worn muskets and then give them a proper musket now. And I don't want to sell the rest of my stuff because this town that I'm at has a debuff towards selling. And my Reds are good at shooting, so I'm going to give them the good land pattern. In fact, let me give that to Granby. Granby gets the priority. There. I think this is good. And I wish I could get away a little bit longer from that field army, because I'm not really replenishing. Oh, look at that. Unit professionalism. Guarantee the merchant survive. I love my doctrines right now. Beautiful. I'm going to drill for a day. There we go, I got it. Oh. I just need more replenishment on these guys before I can face that. That's a big army of 20,000. The last stand. Fight a tough enemy field army. It's basically the one that's chasing me. And I'd get a heavy infantry, which I don't really need. Alright, I didn't lose anything from that. I don't know what to do about these guys. Because we have this modifier on that makes enemy armies 30% faster, so I can't shake them. I think what I'll need to do is do a regular walk so my replenishment isn't so slow. And just walk away until they eventually catch me. There. So I've replenished as much as I can. I'm 500 short. I am going to equip anything I possibly can for now to give me an advantage. Even if some of these items aren't that good. And then make sure I'm fully stacked up. I'm going to have the cavalry go in with 50 ammo each. And then give that all to the artillery. They have a really bad gun. Give it back to them. And everyone else looks to be in good shape. What I would do is, though, I would get rid of some of the ammo on the Highlanders and just give that to these guys over there. In fact, I don't mind them going in with 60 ammo because I want to keep them in reserve and charge them. And I want these guys to be ready to go. Granby shouldn't even also have to worry about ammo. And I'm going to see if I die here. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, if I die completely from this situation. Oh, this is so cool. Look what someone made. Holy shit, dude. They get these crazy item stacks on their units. I'm so jealous that I can't get my units to that level. I'm like already through Act 2 and I'm not even close to filling out my items. I mean, these dudes, Flintlock, are definitely going to punch above their weight. Just looking at the items they've got, it's nuts. That's so cool. I'm just going to hold the hill back here with my artillery and play conservatively along that axis there. Let's group up all the cav. Those are my reds, those are my blues. And then we have Granby, the commander of that brigade. My Weymouth guard is in good shape. They can hold my center. Look how much that extra range I have on that land pattern. That's nice. 136 accuracy is very good. The Cameron only have 400 Highland Grenadiers. Damn. Yeah, they're going to be held in deep reserve. I'm going to spread them out so a cannonball doesn't wipe out like 90% of their strength. We'll put... I mean, they really need it. I'll put them on the hill with Highlanders behind them to support. It's my little Highland wing. I have a bad feeling about this because my manpower looks so damn low. My units look so tiny. I'm starting to like that left side a little bit more. It's decent cover right there. I think my cav is going to have to try and do heavy lifting. I don't know if they're going to be able to, but they're going to have to try. Here's my Chertsey troops. And who are these? My Connaught troops. And there's my Rutland. They're pretty cool with the black facings. That's a historical regiment. The 58th Rutlandshire also had black facings. So Cameron's going to move up on the hill. Highlander's kind of fresh behind him. I'm going to have Chertsey. I need to basically space my lines out really thin to make sure if my advantage is firepower, then I need to get as much firepower as I can get. I'm going to have the Grenadier Guard behind. And then these two troops will be extended a little bit. I may even curl them back a bit. And I have my Horse Grenadiers, which, what's their weaker flank? They have so many Grenadiers. I don't think I'm going to survive this. Doesn't look like I will. I think I just got caught. Look at all the Dragoons and shit they have, too. I will say, now that the enemy can use carbines, the enemy Dragoon cavalry is, like, the scariest. Like, when you fire a carbine shot before a charge, it can be so devastating. It's arguably too powerful. And look how thin my little line is. I mean, these guys are going to have to do, like... They're going to have to be getting insane amounts of damage in order to be worth it. And we'll move the artillery up. This is a very thin red line, yeah. I think my cavalry is going to have to do a lot of work, too. I don't think you can win with only 3 brigades. I've seen somebody win, look, someone won here. Britain Ironman just beat Act 2 HQ with only 3 brigades. But he was just in a much stronger position. He beat their headquarters with all the difficulty modifiers on. So it's definitely possible. I just didn't really build this composition that well. I ended up just losing a lot of days, and I just really needed more time. I spent a lot of time drilling. And I think drilling is fine. the issue with drilling is it's just you really don't have as much luxury time, and if I honestly think the headquarters should come a little bit later for all 3 acts, just by default. I really do think they should. Because you should be able to just sit and drill for these guys for a little bit and just enjoy, like, leveling up your guys in that way. And I just never really got that. Okay, I'm going to move these dudes. Are they getting targeted, really? Put them in the forest and cover. And spread them out a bit. It's annoying they really want to target my weak unit there. Okay, my opening volleys seem pretty good. I do want to try and focus fire. I have a very bad feeling about this, quite frankly. Something I want to try is I want them to unload their volleys and then rush the cav forward to shoot and then run them back and just keep repeating that. I'm going to move these guys over here. Some of them are getting quite close, so I may not even need to do that. But yeah, I bet my carbine troops can actually take out those grenadiers. And who's got my grenades? These dudes do. And I can throw them pretty far. Not too far, but pretty far. Oh. How did I not have something over there? I did not notice it. I think everybody's gaslit me and saying the AI has never flanked them ever before. So I never checked the flanks. Dude, I'm fucked. I'm completely fucked. I mean, I didn't even... Yeah, you guys are fucking gaslighting me. You say I don't think the AI's ever flanked me. The cavalry only knows how to go forward. Well, then what the fuck is this? What would you call this exactly right now? That cavalry's fucking... Or that artillery's gone. There we go. Nice. Granby saved the fucking day. Check the other flank. Yeah, the other flank is looking okay. I'm just getting chewed apart, though. I'm going to wait for them to fire and then run them up. And I want to run up and hit them with carbines. Where's my other cav? I'll just do that with them, too. I'm going to have the general try to rally that artillery. .45 kills is not bad. I just want to ride around and see if I can get some kills with them. Their bracing is probably low and they're reforming at the moment, so I can probably hit them and run. Ah, beautiful. Look at that. If I can just shatter them, then I'll run away. Oh, the fucking artillery. Are you kidding me? How come I can't shatter those goddamn guys? That pisses me off. Why don't they fucking shatter? Fuck you. Alright, hold on. I'm going to target them and see if that artillery shatters them. And my artillery is back. They're just really hurt. Luckily, Granby actually did very well. I'm going to deploy the Highlanders. I'm getting flanked on my side. I'm going to fire this last shot and then pull the Rutlandshire back. There you go. And run. I'm going to deploy the Grenadier Guard and start tossing those grenades. Move these guys back. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do shit. That regiment's going to come back, which is super annoying. Alright, Granby, use that buckshot and just hit them nice and close. There you go. And then run. Just fuck with them. Good, they're helping them. These guys fell back. I'm gonna move the general around. And I think it's time to get the grenades thrown. There. I'm gonna use those glass grenades and just toss them real far. We're getting charged, I think. Which is surprising they want to charge my Highlanders. Let's load up, guys. Load. And fire. Nice shot. I think we'll throw them back. Yeah, we threw them right back and shattered them. That's awesome. The Highlanders are very good at melee. I would use these Highlanders more in melee, but the manpower is so low on them that I'd really risk hurting them. I'm gonna pull these guys back. Oh, the grenades routed them. That's awesome. Let's throw another round of grenades. Does bracing resist infantry charges? It does. Yeah, bracing resists everything. I'm feeling the quality build like paying off a little bit right now. But it just needs more. I need to stack more items. This isn't going to last me for like a headquarters. At least I'm going to get great loot out of this and lots of money. Okay, I'm going to pull back. Oh, fuck, their charge momentum's too high. I can't pull back. Oh, come on, guys. All right, just fight them then. Oh, we won that. Wow. Yeah, the fucking blues. They have the breastplates and everything. They're doing good. Okay, now I gotta fall them back. Oh, beautiful. Look, I just annihilated the whole flank. They're trying to charge on my right. I'm gonna move the Highlanders in and just make a brawl on the right flank. Pull these guys out. Oh, damn, they're taking a lot of losses. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. God, Granby could die. Pull them back. Let the Highlanders do the work. Fuck them up, Highlanders. Fuck them up. I think they're doing good. They're holding their ground. Form square, guys. Form a block. And just fire at will. Hold the line. Hold the line. Come on, Highlanders. Oh, I don't want to lose them. I'm going to have to save... I'm going to have to just go in. Move these guys back. I have my reds. I'm going to move the reds over to the right, I think. Rutlandshire is going to flank them. And then flank them. And the Weymouth Grenadiers are running back. Chertsey, I will just peel them back a bit. And yeah, let's just see what we can do here. The Highlanders are holding. That initial charge impact hurt us. Let's see if we can... Oh, we did it. We did it. Let's see if I can shatter them now. They can run. They're fast as hell. Okay, I don't want to risk it. Come on, guys, get out of there. Who shattered? My artillery? That's fine. That's fine. I have the modifier where if a unit shatters, they basically take all these extra losses and probably die. So we got to be careful. Anytime you hear that sound, it's not good. Pull them back. And we've not won the battle yet. It's close, but we've not won yet. Granby's got to just stay in the back. He's risking his life too much. I'm going to move these guys back. They don't need to be risking themselves. In fact, I'm going to pull back and draw them in a bit. And the Connaught are about to engage those Dragoons. We have another wave coming in, basically. Nice. I'm going to have my Grenadier Guard right behind the Chertsey troops to hold that. There we go, nice. And the charge impact is pretty rough, but I have so many people here. Let's charge those guys in. Keep the general by. And on the right, what's going on over here? They still outrange me with the Charlevilles. That's nuts. We've got to leave the hill. And we've got to be aggressive now. I'm going to have to go in for like a death ride. No, not yet, not yet. I need to group up both cav. Okay, we held these guys back. They're nice and spaced out. Fucking hell. Just hit those guys. There we go, we broke them. I'm gonna continue the charge. Keep going, guys, keep going. Just keep moving. Keep the charge going. Once that second unit hits, it should hopefully just fully break that flank. Damn, alright, Weymouth is out. It's just mainly the enemy. Chertsi's out. Just the enemy artillery that's causing the main problem now. The Brave have done a good job. I think cavalry's getting out. There we are. Hold the line. Okay, they're retreating. It's just basically artillery to deal with next. And that is actually a little bit tough. The Brave are going to be the ones who deal with that. And I'm going to bring up the Reds as well. I'm going to hit that unit on the right. Got it. I'm going to let the Connaught charge just so they get the kills, because the general won't get the experience if he charges. Here we go, we did it. That was tough. I actually didn't think we would win that. I think the quality is definitely paying off to an extent. And we get lots of cash from it. I think we're in a good position in terms of manas and resources. What do I want to do here? I want to probably get ammo. I don't need provisions, but experience would be nice. A lot of these guys are level 8, 8, 9 though, but I do want to get experience, and food would be cool. I'll do that. I just want the experience. I want to grind XP. I lost an artillery unit, but I don't really enjoy playing into artillery right now. I really like this group of cavalry. I think I want another solid veteran infantry unit to hold the line. I think I'd get more use out of that, and I'll just upgrade this one cannon. It's a shame we lose all the items that go down with him, but that's fine. Let's run over. I'll just replenish whatever I can, and let's run over and immediately try to get our situation under control. There we are. I do need a city as soon as we can. Are there any cities nearby? Not really. We have no time left. So what we're going to do is purchase maybe a Hanoverian, because they get good manpower. So I don't mind a Hanoverian. Can you stack enough movement buffs and skirmishers to outrun Cav? I bet that's possible, yeah. I bet it's possible. What color do we want on them? Kind of like, I think the yellow looks good on those. You're in the middle of nowhere, yeah, I know. At least we have a 1,400 man regiment, though. It just feels like we've had so few people. I've had a great time playing. I gotta try Ironman. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm surprised there's so many people here. There's 167 people here. What are you guys all up to? Oh, I like your channel. That's cool. I watch channels like this. I probably... Oh, look, I've actually watched one of your videos. Look. I have watched your speed painting. Yeah, I do some miniature painting myself, which is what inspired the unit customization system here. Let's make sure we just have all the manpower we can get. Good. And we can sell off a lot of stuff. I think those little, like, entrenchment earthwork stuff are actually going to be really helpful for this build. I don't really use canister. I'm just going to sell it. I think it's fine. I haven't seen those customization options yet. Oh, yeah, you can... Goobertown, if you click a unit and you click on their flag, you can customize every part of the uniform and the flag and everything. There's a lot of customization here. Okay, we're back up to 1,000. Let's replace the gunner implements. Sell those off. Do they have a liber chest? Yes, they do. I do need a better gun than just an iron 10-pounder. I feel like they're just not doing as much as they could, but accuracy's nice. Yeah. I'll take the accuracy. There, we've got all of our officers maxed out. I never saw an event where I can use the regimental flag. Is this so rare in Act 3 or something? I don't know. I think there is one encounter where you can use the flag, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Everyone's got saddles already, so we can sell off that saddle. We don't need those. And then I would say we can get more gold stuff. Look at this, 15 and 10% on the Bible. I'm taking that. The gold coffee, I'll take that too. A powder house. Don't need much there. I just want some good excellent items. Quartermaster. A huge 10 morale buff. I wouldn't mind that. I need my guys doing more damage, though. I'm going to actually hold off on that. And I'm going to try and get somewhere. Where the hell is their headquarters? I bet I could force march there by the time they get there. Do I have enough manpower? I do. I'm replenishing. Okay. I want to go there, and we'll see who gets there first. Now, they're still not even on a road. Who will get to that town first? They're moving quicker. They're moving quicker. They're flying now. Okay, we got there. We got it. And we'll drill for a little bit, too. So I'm going to grab just enough ammo to drill. And we're just here to buy stuff. So at the foundry, I could upgrade the gun, but I don't think it's worth that. I would not mind 10 morale and move speed for only 185 is huge. The musicians are very good. Casualty restoration, 40% is also very good. So I'd be left with, what, 345? Yeah. Morale and melee damage, that's also extremely good. I could probably slow down the HQ speed. The issue we had before was that the HQ, everyone outran the HQ so frequently that we had to make them go faster and faster. But I think we probably went a little too far, and they don't need to be that fast. I'm now going to unequip some of the less interesting items and try to afford one more thing that I actually want. Are you planning on implementing the weekly challenge thing? I don't know if I want to do that or not. I don't know if players would even like it, and I have a feeling I'm going to make it and I'll like it, but no one else will really use it. So I'm still on the fence about it. God, they don't buy items for very much. I get 162. 162 is just enough to get like a good pocket Bible. I think I want to get the pocket Bible. I know I need the manpower. I know I need that. Yeah, endless mode is definitely a higher priority for sure. Accuracy 8 would be great. I would take that for 150. How much manpower am I shy of? Just 80. That's fine. I'll make these guys come with 1,200 men, just so everybody else can get filled out there. And then we need ammo. We won't be able to drill like I wanted to. There's no ammo here, though. What could I do about the ammunition situation? I could try to get to Seneffe, which I think is what we want to do. I'm going to force march my way over there. Oh, I did it. Whew. Yeah, I think the HQ speed gets too fast. Yeah, I think we should, like... I think the theme of the next update should be making the HQ less obnoxious. Like, it takes longer for the HQ to come after you. It takes longer for it to move on the movement map. And just like a couple little things to make it just to ease the experience, because I think right now we're a little bit overtuned toward difficulty. Like, it'd be nice if players were having such a good time and a comfortable time on the normal difficulty settings that they want to venture out and play with difficulty modifiers. But at the moment, I feel like most people, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like most people are stuck. Is there no ammo here? There's no fucking ammo here. All right, what can we do? Cav, we're going to start dividing ammo up. Cav doesn't need a lot. We're going to ration the ammo like crazy. The artillery doesn't do shit, but it does need some ammo. Fuck. These Highlanders, I actually am comfortable giving them no ammunition. I'm okay with that. I'm okay if they go in with no ammo and they're just there to charge. That's their whole goal. I'm completely fine with that. You know what? Just enough ammo that they fire one volley. That's it. The Weymouth Foot Guards need more. These Grenadiers are also going to come with less. Basically, anyone who's melee focused, like these Grenadiers, will have less. But look, I think now rationing it, it's looking a lot less bad. There, 20 for all the cav. Bring this guy up. These guys are brand new, so they're not likely to get as many kills. These guys are a little bit better. They go up to 90. These guys are decent. They can't get a promotion, unfortunately. Switch your Highlanders for a Muskie regiment to get fire by rank. Oh, you're right. We do have fire by rank here. You're right. I'm going to move them over then to the line brigade, where we're getting precision and fear, accuracy, range, and reload in favor of movement speed, range, stamina. Gosh, it's tough. I don't know. I think these guys were benefiting from all these shooting things more. The fire by rank's nice, but yeah. We have 39 ammo remaining. Let's definitely give them a little ammo. I think everybody can just have 90 ammo. That's so unlucky we ran into 2 locations with no ammunition. If everyone has 90, we're in a good spot, to be honest. They can have 80. I think these Highland Grenadiers just need a little bit more. 90. There, this is not looking too bad now. Yeah. And then our cavalry can get a treatise. Morale and melee damage. I want these guys to be my melee killers. Where's my speed reloaders at? They're in blue. These guys here are going to get the better coffee. Now down to 20-second reload. I'm going to give these guys the excellent fifers. 74 morale is now very good. Did that place have no ammo by default? No, I revisited it. I revisited the location and it had no ammo. What could be cool with this fire by rank thing is to give them the coffee. Ah, no, I want the tea for the accuracy. Okay, that's fine. We'll give the Hanoverians some coffee because they have no bonuses. I just want them to be decent at something. And I'm going to make these Grenadiers go in for a bloody charge, so I want them to restore their casualties. And morale and fire damage received. I want the Weymouth Foot Guard to kind of go down with the ship. Or even the Cav could be nice to get morale and fire damage received less. No, I'll give it to them. There, that's basically the best I can do. And is there anything here I could buy? I have 100 left to spend. You know what? How many days do we have? We have about a day to sit. I think it is 140. For 140, what's worth it? This could be cool. Look, ammo consumption. That might actually save us right now. I think that will save us. We buy the ammo cartridge box and give it to someone who's just going to be firing a bunch who doesn't have much ammo. Since it reduces it by 25%, I could reduce what the Highlanders have a little bit. And give them the cartridge box then to slow down. And then with 30 left, we can distribute it to someone else who needs it more. I'm going to keep them around 40. 90 is good, 90 is good, 90 is good. Let's get them up to 90. And I want this regiment that I trust, the Weymouth Foot Guard, who's got all this veterancy, to just go up. Okay, this is the best we can do. Now we forage. Actually, we raid. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that speed buff is way too nuts. Oh, it's also increased by 30% due to the modifier we're playing on, so yeah, that's why it's probably flying so crazy. They have a lot of great cav. They have some decent artillery to worry about. Oh my gosh, they have a lot of artillery. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artillery batteries. 7 artillery batteries, guys. That's like the worst nightmare, isn't it? If they had a lot of cav, that'd even be better, because I could just hold with my firing lines. I'm hoping this is the village map, because I am fighting directly on top of a village. I'm hoping that's the one I get, because if I do, there's so much cover in there that I could rush the village, and I can eat the artillery rounds a bit better. I just need a map that's going to give me cover, but I am in a village. So I'm hoping that's what we get. We do not, but we get this village. We do get this village, which, look, I'm getting 100% cover from. So, yeah, we'll say goodbye. We'll kiss our troops goodbye, because this is the last time we're probably going to see them. I did not really like the difficulty in this. I didn't feel like it was fair. Like, I feel like I would make a couple changes to just the HQ speed. I felt like if I had an extra 2 weeks on that map, I could have got the ammo situation sorted. I may have been actually able to buy more stuff. I may have been able to fight maybe one more patrol, and then I would have been in a good spot. And if I had one more week from Act 1, I would have been in an even better spot now. So I think just giving time and slow that HQ down, because if I had another week where that HQ took longer, yeah, I don't know. I think that would be good, and I think a lot of newer players would struggle less if they just had less time pressure, instead of having to rely so much on that one modifier that gives you time. But yeah, we're gonna hold this village because we just have the best cover here. The issue, though, is that they are going to play defensively. Holy shit! Oh my gosh! Oh my god! This is stacked. This is absolutely stacked. Absolutely stacked. Yeah, I cannot play defensively against 7 batteries. If I know if I assault this, I'm gonna die. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, I don't know. I don't even know. I'll hold the town for cover and try to draw them out with my own aggression to get them to not be defensive. And their weak point probably looks like the Swiss. The morale is 94. No, this is the weak point, is on the right. Yeah, skirmishers could have been nice to get rid of the artillery. I was trying to get skirmishers and I just never found subsidy troops, really. I really want to make like a 95th Rifles unit. The Hanoverians are going to be in the front because they have the most manpower and they're the weakest unit. So, Hanover's in the front. Okay. The Cameron Highlanders are in the back, like that. In fact, they're going to be in the back in the city. They'll be on the flank because I want to charge them. And then the Highlanders will be in the church, the ones for charging. I'll move up these troops in the fence line, perhaps. My foot guard will be in the front there. The Grenadier Guards will also be in the back. And then Chertsey and Connaught. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know how you hold this. I'll just create layers of defense, I suppose. We'll do a defense in depth, and we'll just keep falling back. Honestly, that's what I'm gonna have to do. And then the Cav mission. Let's see what the Cav can get done. But yeah, we're absolutely going with a defense in depth. And the Weymouth Foot Guard's gonna have to hold the rearmost point. And the Weymouth Grenadier Guards will be behind them. And then these guys will get sacrificed there. So the way I'm kind of thinking of this... Gosh, I wish I had like one more unit. It's rough. Oh, they do not like... They're all turning to face that cavalry attack. Oh! Okay, we baited them, I think. Oh man, 59 lost. Holy fuck. Okay, guys. They're holding that. They're going to hold that. And then we're just going to keep falling back between those lines. Get in there, guys. Granby's probably going to fucking die. Okay, I shattered them and I freaked everybody else out. Okay, we're out of here. Damn, I wish the Granby unit didn't take so much losses. How come the Reds are not firing before they're shot? They should fire. It looks like they didn't. Oh my god. My fucking horse guards got wrecked. Oh man, they're all gonna fucking die. Was it worth it? Trying to rescue them. These guys might fight. My blues might fight to the death. I might have them fight to the death because I think only one can escape. There's too many. I think only one can escape. Which I would have preferred if the blues survived, but at least I took out one artillery battery and made another one retreat. And then they wasted a bunch of ammo already. Not that much ammo, but they wasted a little bit. All firing. And all the artillery is going to keep firing into this cluster and hopefully hit their own men, I'm hoping. Yeah, it looks like artillery's landing and just hitting their own guys now. Yeah, look at that. You can see they are taking some losses. Dude, when this charge comes in, guys, when these cuirassiers come in and hit these guys in the back, this Horse Grenadier unit is going to hit 0 HP. I guarantee you. And these guys are looking back like, you guys saved our asses. Only 240 left. They've got a carbine. So they can help shoot over their heads with this guy too. So these guys will shoot over their heads. But these guys are going to explode in like a few seconds. Ready? Oh, there it is. There's a shatter. And they're gone. At least all the artillery is really distracted trying to hit them. And they're already gone. These cuirassiers got beat up, though, pretty bad, didn't they? They're exhausted and pretty weak. I kind of want to rush the Highlanders up. And while that morale is low, take advantage. Granby can be right behind to reinforce that. In fact, Granby can be there. And these guys can be there. The Brave Blues, I know. There, my... Okay, you guys fire. Rolling fire. And you guys can shoot, and you guys can shoot. Nice. We hit them pretty hard. Switch over to buckshot. And fend off that charge. Fend them off. Hold them back. We're throwing these guys back. Fuck them. They're reloading. There. And they're gonna hold. Aiming for the wrong goddamn target, guys. There you go. Good job. Fending them off all the cav. Fucking hell. This, like, forward action. We're just holding waves of cav off at the moment. And then all this infantry is about to trickle in. This is one more cav unit. Hold fire. Hold fire. And hold fire. And then we've got 3 lines of defense to just keep retreating behind. Alright, we're almost reloaded. Hold. Hold. Okay. Fire. There we go. And then we're going to fall these guys back. And fall him back. Cab's been dealt with. Let's go, 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 go. Artillery's at least firing at, like, really far maximum range, which is good. They do have a lot of kills racked up. I'm just hoping we can burn through their ammo, but it doesn't look like we're burning through much of their ammo. They have excellent limber chests. Yeah, the others don't have excellent limber chests, but I'm going to space them out because that artillery advantage. The chasseurs are real annoying, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to death ride to take them out. I don't think I can do it, and they are gonna fucking outshoot me. I'm gonna shift over. And we'll fall back when we need to. What's cool about falling back is these guys will remain fresh, and we will just fight as long as we can until we tire them out, and hopefully, as we keep falling back, the fresh troops will just outgun the others, but we'll see. Yeah, this part is worrying. I almost want my... I know we're supposed to hold them in reserve, but I actually feel like I could throw those grenades that I have and obliterate a few regiments while I can. There we go. Got the fire by rank on. Yeah, the firing at the chasseurs sucks. It just feels like all my rounds are getting wasted on them. I think I fall back. And my other unit just fired its volley, so I think it's worth it. I'm gonna fall back. They're gonna waste their shots at max range anyways. And then this is within carbine range, so my cavalry can help fire. But yeah, the deeper I fall back, the more reinforcements I'm getting and the more units I've got. Unfortunately, they are being smarter about their range at the moment. I need these guys to shoot, and then I can run up and carbine them. But they're holding their fire at the moment. My ammo's getting a little bit low with the Cameron Highlanders. I'm going to rush up for the carbine shot. And see what I can do here. You know what? Fuck it. They're not braced, and I'm hitting them in the back. I'm going to fall back now. And just hope my infantry can finish that job. Come on, guys. Just get out of there. Okay, there we go. There we go, guys. Then we can hit them. No, wrong button. There we go, we broke them. Hit them. Fire at will. Did we shatter them? Damn, not shattering them is really rough. Come on, guys. Oh, that pisses me off. They're gonna come back. We're gonna have to fight them again. Are you fucking kidding me? That fucking blows. Alright. I'm gonna grenade the voluntaries over there. How's our left flank? Oh, fuck. What are they doing over there? You better fire. There you go. And run. Run through the ranks. And then fire with the next group. Alright, there you go. Now they can fire. Hell yeah. I'm gonna have the Camerons just charge because they have good melee. Might as well just hit them. I'm gonna peel these guys back, I think. There we go. Yeah, I mean, these guys should have decent melee. 63 against 45, so there we go. And we're hitting them with cannonballs. You know, the artillery is actually doing good work in just the morale damage. Because an artillery ball landed there, and then the artillery immediately switches targets once they retreat, which is cool. Who do I want to hit next? I want to hit these guys on the right, because we're going to throw grenades at them and freak them out. It's unfortunate how much we're outranged. That's a frustrating thing. Yeah, there is a lot on the left flank, I see. I think the Weymouth Foot Guards could advance forward. Like that. They've got long-range Brown Besses, which is nice. Do we have 2 units on top of each other? Oh, hell yes, free unit. Dude, we had a second unit this whole time. I feel like we're actually weakening them as we pull them in. And they're now getting tired back there, too. Look, they're even getting tired, so we're making them walk all the way back here. And meanwhile, like, our Rutlandshire is not tired at all. So, I'm moving up. I'm going to have the Weymouth Foot Guards move up. I want the Foot Guards activated to hold the left. And then Chertsey, I don't know what I want to do with Chertsey. I'm going to just have them hold this village still. And my Weymouth Guards are ready to shoot and then throw the grenade. There, I don't have to go very far to throw as well. I've got 4 grenades to throw. And I'm going to break that unit. I really do think I will break it if I throw enough grenades. There we go. There's one. Can I change up my angle just a little bit and get more to land? That's my question. There. Let's throw another rally or another throw of grenades. We're getting hit over there. Throw one more time. And then throw again. And then throw again. Oh, we got the barricades up too. Nice. Throw again. And I think I'm out, right? I'm out of grenades. So now I'm going to fall back. I should have waited to fall back for them to hit the barricades because I just moved. Yeah, we're using glass grenades, so the glass grenades are thrown further. Now they just expended their volley. So if I move over here, my cavalry could carbine them and kill them. And then this next wave is coming in. What I'm going to do is rotate my troops out who are getting tired. So we're going to do like the Roman system. And look, they're building up half fatigued. They're already on winded, so their accuracy is down by 5%. So we're going to move these fresh troops in and walk them up. And these guys who are tired, who are getting minus 15%, are going to fall back. And look, our fucking Weymouth Foot Guard are just massacring on the left flank. And then we've got 2 more in reserve still. Oh, shit. Where did these guys come from? Dude, I thought I dealt with the Cav, to be honest. And then this shows up. All right, well, that's why we have reserves, right? We have the Brave. And we've got the Highland Foot. I'm going to run the Highlanders back and move and run the Kana up. I'm going to hold fire on everything. And I'm going to sprint. And I've got to deal with Horse Grenadiers now. I'm going to bunch up a little bit, because you do get a... fucking hell. Wow, it's a mass charge. This is a mass charge. Holy shit. No, don't charge. Whew, I don't even know if I'll survive this. It's a little worrying. We've got to kill as many as we can. Wow. I'm going to hit that one in the back. Yeah, I was just rotating, too. At least I have all these regiments in this area. And I may even be able to countercharge. If they hit the Hanoverians, my Camerons can countercharge them. Push in, and I've got the general right behind. And that these Highlanders should deliver a little bit of punch. Hanoverians are going to get crushed by the Hussars. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even fire with my Highlanders. That's a shame. We push back those guys, which is really good. Switch targets. You know what we'll do is we'll run these guys over, and I'll run the other cav over. I got one shot left with my carbines. Oh, Granby's dead. Granby has died. I knew the day would come. I knew the day would come. I knew he would be dead. We lost both cav. We knew the cav would be gone. Retarget. I made a mistake because the Highlanders had a round loaded. They could have dumped one round in and won that. I will win on the left because I have another unit of the Brave coming in. We are being charged, though. And these guys are just annihilating on the left flank at the moment. So I'm really proud of the Weymouth troops. I think they will potentially allow me to win the battle. And I'm going to fall back further. And I'm going to just start trying to rally everybody. I think I can bring back these Grenadiers. There we go. Dude, the Brave. Look at the Brave. They're the only ones left in that brawl. Just holding everybody off. Good fucking job. I'm gonna go countercharge with my Grenadier Guard. Fuck it. Wonder why they don't want to shoot, but charging in. Yeah, I got 2 Grenadiers, so I'm charging them. And then... Look, I fended them off. Dude, I can count on the Brave, man. I really can. Oh, man. Alright. All the Grenadiers and the Cav is coming in late game now to try to finish me off. Keep accidentally charging first. Everyone's exhausted. At least I have so many lines of infantry that if they break through, you know, we're okay. And we're throwing them back. They're really hurling themselves at us. Oh. Where did they come from? Dude, I love these Weymouth. 1,000 kills, 4 death. They held this entire flank down. Anyone who tried going down the river. Oh, I still have Chertsey. Alright, Chertsey, you deal with them. And I'm deploying the Weymouth Guard. I'm putting them on the front line now. And Rutland, you are getting a little bit tired. I'm going to rotate you back. And then Connaught is tired as hell, but it doesn't matter because it's desperate over there. And I just need to give a little bit of ground. Just a little leeway. And I got volley fire turned off because I just need to get as many shots off as I can everywhere. You know, they don't even have a good KDR, but the spirit of these Khanat troops, they're just holding so well. Damn, I lost another officer. Yeah, Walker's dead now, too. The Brave is the only one whose officer also still stands. It is so incredibly bloody. No, don't shoot. Fuck. Oh, they're out of ammo. That's why they haven't been shooting. They're out of ammo. Just gonna try to charge them in. Oh, they shattered them. That's a real shame. Oh, nice. I shattered them. Yeah, we are holding on for dear life. These goddamn Swiss trying to flank me over here, too. There we go, nice. How's their artillery doing? Still got plenty of ammo. Awesome. Fucking hell. Just trying to hold. I'm glad Weymouth is like full strength, full HP, full everything, with fire by rank. The run seems to be going smooth. Well, I don't know about that. Hanoverian Foot are just chilling right now. The Brave are holding. Trying to do the fire by rank with these guys. They've got 100% cover at least. See, it feels like they're just hung up on people reloading to do fire by rank. I'm gonna redraw them real quick. There we go. Come on, guys. Do your fire by rank. I'm gonna fall these guys back. There we go. Nice fire by rank. Okay, we're winning the left flank. I'm going to move these guys up then. Rutland's going to go around, and the Highlanders are going to go around. I'm going to go reinforce that area. The whole right flank is... The whole right flank's collapsing. The artillery is now out of ammo. Really, the only saving grace here is my Weymouth guys. Are there any officers I can kill? I could try to kill that officer and scare them. Cheroksee's coming up. I might have Cherokee going for a charge if they can. But yeah, the right flank is struggling massively. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't even know how they're going to hold. Look at how big these units are. Oh! Why did they want to retreat? What did they get caught with, I wonder? Maybe they left my general's radius and they... Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to just pull everyone close to the general. I think that's what we've got to do. Into the town. I'm just running everybody into the town now. The desperation. Oh, they're all retreating. The whole left flank collapsed. The whole left flank collapsed for them. So, we are doing better. And we've got some officers. I think Cherokee could go start flanking this area there. Is there any way to bring those Grenadier Guards back? Nope. They're shattered dead too. How's the artillery feeling? I think it feels okay. These guys are just... They're not even that strong, it's just that they're all getting like 100 kills each. They're all running out of ammo now, though, which is good, and so they're all going to start retreating soon. At least the Cherokee has this like really fast reload speed I can count on. And so I can start, I'm going to start rolling down the flank. And I've got canteens, and that I think is the thing that's stopping these guys from being worn out from me sprinting them so much through the marshes and everything too. Alright guys, reload, reload. Another unit is shattered. The center is shattered. They're breaking. It comes down to the Weymouth and the Cherokee, and I think because all of my officers are now dead, every single one of them, what I think I need to do now is rally everything on the left. Rutland needs to stay. They're not going to stay because I moved. So I'm down to these 2 units. Cherokee better not leave. I'm out of ammo. I'm out of ammo. We go into assault columns now. And the general's nearby. I don't know how I'm going to do this. God, the fucking artillery is just like advancing on us. What the hell? I'm going to rush up and take out the artillery. Charge. I have to move. Yeah, these guys shouldn't have left, honestly. The Rutland kind of lost the battle for us. If they had stayed, these 2 units would have been kept distracted, and I could take this out with these. But because I moved the general away, they just fled. And we're just getting nailed by the artillery now. Someone else got shattered. And I need to just rush up and just rout their artillery, because then the officer's going to run away, and if their officer runs away, they'll get scared. Officer can't keep up with the charge. Uh-oh. Oh, did the officer not fucking make it in time? There we go. He did. There we go. I shattered the artillery. I'm gonna just tap this unit to get them out. There we go. And my other units are gone now. It's over. That was a really close battle, though, wasn't it? That was a very close battle. And I can't bring them back. Their morale's too low. I think we did our best, though. I think we did a very good job. I don't know how I broke that unit there, but I'll take that. They're still pounding me with fucking canister shot. I hear grape shot going on in the background. And the issue is if I had ammo, I could win, but I have no ammo, guys. I actually think had I had the ammunition, I could have won this. Because these guys can't charge, and I can't shoot, so I'm stuck. Maybe I could just go charge them. Howitzers can't do anything, right? There's nothing left in them. No. I think I could just... I want to charge them, but I don't want the general to be out of range. There we go. They have no morale left, so I think I could just tap them. And no brace either. Yeah, they're just gone. What you need to do... God, the morale is so low. That's a shame. If they had higher morale, if I had like 100 morale on these guys, I could actually push them further to win. That artillery's fucked me. There's only 1 unit left. How sad is that? That I'm not going to win it because of these guys. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to break on impact. And they're gonna shoot me. And I'm exhausted. It's the worst. Oh well, guys. Yeah, look at the stamina. Look how bloody this was, though. Oh my gosh. This was really brutal. It's a 30-minute battle at the moment. You know what? I'm gonna let the melee just trigger. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they want to go. If I could actually move out of the way and get my morale up, or my stamina up, I might be able to rear charge them. Fucking hell. I think they want to go for my last retreating units. And they think their artillery can just finish me off. And I hear my fucking guys dying. Oh, wait, I could... No, I can't one-tap it. I was going to move the general over and just tap the artillery, but I can't. Okay, they're only winded now. Imagine the rear charge 1. Oh my god, I hear the artillery. Fuck off. Doesn't look like many people are dying, though, because they're firing at their max range. I'm going to start following them. Go together for the artillery. Yeah, I could try. I could try that, because it's almost dead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no, they caught on. They caught on. Oh, it's over. I'm sandwiched. It's over. Oh, they missed their volley. But it's over. If I leave the radius, they die. Yeah, Weymouth are holding on. I wish I had more morale on them. That's a shame. They're fucking dead. You hear the horns. Yeah, they're gone. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, man. Damn, I killed so many of them, too. I don't know how that artillery had that much ammo. I felt like they were firing the whole time, like crazy. Yeah, that was nuts. 20,000 of them. 20 fucking thousand. Cause of the British crown is undone. The enemy artillery kept firing a lot. Time for negative review, yeah. Wow. Highest losses on those Cameron Grenadiers. The Weymouth definitely did the best. Hold nerf the shit out of artillery, yeah. No, I actually don't think it was an artillery problem. I actually think the stem of those issues are the HQ just being too fast. It moves too quick, it's rallying too fast, and I didn't have time to, my guys had no ammo going into that battle. I actually could have won that with the ammunition. Like, the only reason we started doing mass charges at the end is because all our guys had low ammo. Yeah, artillery does not need any nerfing at all. I think artillery just needs a little bit more rebalancing in terms of the low-level artillery being a bit better and the high-level artillery being a little bit worse. Just some minor tweaking. I also think more of the emphasis should be on the unit skill and less on the item. Because, like, the artillery items carry so much weight. It's like 90% of your performance is on the item, which is fine. It makes sense that the gun you have, the artillery piece you have, determines your kills. Okay, sure. But the crew doesn't feel like they leave much impact. Like, the crew is not doing that much. So I feel like we need to move more of the. I would take some of the accuracy off the guns and reduce them, and then just move it over to the artillery, so that the crews, even if they're given a bad gun, if they're a really good crew, they can still make it work somewhat. But and then I just honestly think for that it was just the HQ was too. It's just too fast. The HQ is moving too quick. It's rallying too quick. I just need more time. If I had more time, fight just 1 or 2 more battles, get the ammo I needed, get a little bit more veterancy on my troops. That's what you should do with muskets too. You think the muskets are too powerful, OH? I didn't really get that impression. I feel like the muskets are in a pretty good spot. Like, it's fun to get a good musket, and it feels like they make a difference, but it doesn't feel like my units are useless with a average musket. The rustic musket feels useless, but that is fine. It makes sense. That'd be like using the worn 1-pounder, and it feels useless. Yeah, of course. But I think the way the muskets feel, they feel pretty nice. I really like the way they feel right now. The veterancy bonus on accuracy doesn't feel that big. I don't mind the veterancy. You've been trying reserve muskets. It's not bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. You've got no range with them. And very low accuracy. And bad melee. Yeah, these damn officers. Granby. Gosh, every officer died in that battle. It was kind of like cinematic. But yeah, I would like what I really want is I've been doing daily patches last week. I just want a week where I do no patches for a full week, and I can just spend a week looking at the issues that I want to fix and just make all these little tweaks that just make these nice little improvements everywhere. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be doing daily stuff. So I'm going to move to weekly updates for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And then I'm in December onward, I'm going to move to bi-weekly updates. We should do a couple new channels, I think, as well. I feel like people would like a role-playing channel where they can role-play like their armies and their units and tell stories about their officers. I feel like people would enjoy that. What kind of channel should we... I guess that would be under content. And we could do like MOC war stories. That would be nice. So people can tell stories about their soldiers. What would there's like a scroll. There we go. Some dude was writing an entire Wikipedia on his army, just on his units and his officers and stuff. So if people want to go share stories here, I think that'd be cool. They can kind of memorialize their units. I also think I want to put one that is down that's like download my regiment, but I don't want people downloading files here and then spreading viruses or something, so I'm not going to touch that at the moment. Okay, this is... Allow screenshots. I think every channel has screenshots they're allowed. But I'll double check and just make sure you can attach files. Yeah, look, he's got the 3 Brigade British. I'm jealous. And he defeated his 22,000 stack. But he's got, look, he has the delayed HQ at the top. That's the fucking issue there. So he's got the time. I didn't have time. I feel like, do you guys feel like it's too hard to get regiments up to level 9 once they're a higher veterancy? Didn't I already change that, though? I feel like I already made that change, and I don't want to do it again. It does, but it does feel like getting to level 9, dude. I was Britain and drilling constantly, and I was on, like, level 4 with half my fucking guys. So I feel like the silver tier and gold... what's it called? The mid and high tier units take a little bit long. Not really if my regiment gets its kills. Yeah, that's true, Devil. I wasn't even really able to grind many battles in that playthrough because I was just getting screwed. I wouldn't mind if drilling was a bit better. I made it cheaper on ammo, which I like, but I wouldn't mind if drilling was better because I feel like as Britain it should feel overpowered, but it doesn't feel powerful at all. But Britain really should, if they're getting double the drilling efficiency, I didn't feel like it ended up being that worth it as much. So I feel like that could have been better. Maybe the number needs to be tuned up. Yeah. Yeah, I would say, like, here are some of my notes from my... We'll do notes from my British playthrough, which is that the HQ speed is too fast, it moves too quickly, and rallies too quickly. I would say the drilling didn't feel powerful enough to justify its use. The ammo consumption for it was fine, though. Maybe Britain's number is normal drill, and then you boost Britain even more. I don't want to do that, but the problem I notice is a lot of people saying they have their high-tier units take kills when they shouldn't. Got to leave the veterans in the back so they don't take the XP. Yeah, yeah, that's true. When we say rally, do you mean the preparation days? Yeah, I think the preparation day is too quick. We'll say prepares too quickly. Right now, fighting battles is so much better than anything else. You get everything you want from fighting battles. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. That drilling just needs some. It just needs to be a little bit more. But I don't think we should be rushing players so much. Like, I would say specifically here, that the HQ prepares too quickly. And then what was the other thing I want to say about it? That I wish I had 7 more days. I could even say more, like 10 more days in Act 1, 20 more days in Act 2, and likely giving about 30 more days in Act 3. Like, I feel like you actually need more time because the challenge really starts building up, and just building a little breathing room could be nice. These are just notes. These aren't official changes that I'm doing right now. I'm not even going to implement these for like a while. Well, I say a while, but it'll probably be like a week of thinking on it. But I just want a little bit more time. Act 1's in a pretty good spot, so I don't want to buff it too much more. It's actually, you can actually snowball fairly nicely. That's why I think 10 days would be appropriate. But Act 2 just feels like I just needed more time. If I got an extra 20 days and the HQ moved a little slower, I'd be in a good spot. And then HQ 3, or Act 3, is just, it's killing a lot of players. And then I would say the second reinforcement army of Act 3 needs to be delayed by about 30 days. You get like a month. That would be nice. And then, yeah, the drilling doesn't feel very powerful. Act 2 feels rushed when Act 3 should be more rushed. Yeah, I agree. I think people have complained about foraging, but I think foraging is fine because it's so situational that I tap on foraging if I know my food's starting to really run low and I need something. I could, with foraging, make the movement debuff a little less extreme. I wouldn't mind if it was if foraging, you moved 5% faster. Let's take a look at the current debuff. I don't know, about a month, maybe 2 weeks, so you can purchase reservists and drills to replenish. Yeah, that's true. Let's say about 14 days. I think that's a good compromise. Before they start moving, and then, yeah. Foraging is nice. Nerf range, up speed. Yeah, you mean like the movement, the view radius? You only lose 20% speed. That's not that bad. I do use foraging. And I like that you can spot things. I do think forging is not in a bad spot. And I do enjoy spotting things because it's useful for spotting where the encounters and stuff are. It's like sending little scouts out. So I do like that. Drilling just does not feel powerful. I don't want to touch it right now, but it doesn't feel that powerful. The pillaging is nice. Do you guys think that the raid notification chance is a 25% chance every time you do a raid per day? We could bring that to 20%. It used to be 15%. I moved it up to 25, and I might settle at 20. Because the biggest thing is we want the HQ pushback, right? But if raiding is pulling it closer and closer so easily, it makes raiding worse, and it just makes the game have more pressure. And I feel like just maybe 5% off would be nice. So I could put that as a note that maybe raiding could be 20% HQ notification chance instead of 25%. Yeah, I think 20% would be nice. I would say like artillery needs to be more based on the unit stats and not on the gun. How do you guys think about this? With artillery, I feel like the bronze guns and elite guns do enough damage, but consume slightly too much ammo. And then the iron guns don't do that much and don't consume very much ammo. And I want to kind of look into that a little bit. I also don't think you should just rush bronze guns and they're just better at everything always. Also found that some iron high caliber guns are very expensive. And then you get a bronze 3-pounder and it outperforms any iron gun. That's what I noticed. And I would say that the specialist artillery should remain the price it is, but the low tier iron guns should probably be more cost effective, and bronze should be a heftier upgrade relative to them. The officer skills feel fine. The doctrines are mostly fine. The unit balance feels pretty good. I like light infantry. It doesn't feel useless, and I like where they're at. Can we get an infantry square as a proper formation? I don't think so, because it's really tough, and they didn't even really use it at this time. So it's like difficult and inaccurate. And that's what bracing does currently already. If you face front with 100% brace, it will give you the benefits of dealing with cav a bit. Maybe one of the guns could have a speed debuff or stamina debuff, yeah. I could put a note and say maybe Tom can expose stamina gain loss for artillery and speed loss. I see a lot of complaints about grenadiers being weak. I don't know if that's true, Kaiser. From what I've heard people just spam grenadiers and you can just win with mass charging. I've heard a few people say that. But I don't really think grenadiers are that weak. Like, they were actually holding down some of my line. Like, in that battle I fought, I had a few grenadiers really holding things down, and I was countercharging the enemy back. And if I didn't have them, that would be quite tough. A lot of people are seeing grenadiers as a straight upgrade to musketeers and then disappointed. Yeah. No, I think the infantry is fine, in my opinion. They think that the further you go down a tree, it's always better, and that's not always the case. It was sad your glass grenades weren't that effective. It took 4, but it didn't do too much. I'm not even that upset about the glass grenades because they were good quality, not excellent. So they're not going to be like instant killers. And also they throw pretty far. I could see them maybe, it would be nice if they could throw a little bit further. But also in the 4 throws I did, I took a full strength, full morale grenadier unit with all these items in veterancy and got it down to nearly no veterancy. Or sorry, no morale. And I felt that was fair. I did feel that was fair. But it would be nice if we could throw it further, because the glass grenades are meant to be lightweight, and you should be able to just throw them from like behind your lines almost, or like throw them not without having to get that close. Like glass grenades maybe could use a tiny more amount of range, because most people use the iron grenades anyways. So if glass had just a little bit more throw range by like 5%, something very small, that could be helpful. Maybe add a max range modifier. Yeah. You can volley, then throw. Yeah, I think the grenades are in a good spot. I think the glass grenades are just kind of ignored a little bit, so I wouldn't mind like 5% more range, just something not even that noticeable, just a little bit better. Trying to think if there's anything else. Are grenades droppable in Plunder? They are. I suppose another thing, yeah, you know what I could look into is use the loot debugger to test item drops and see if there are any items that never drop or drop too frequently or too infrequently. So I can review loot, because I do feel like some things just never drop and some things drop too much. I get a lot of cav and arty items. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I get like elevation screws and like horseshoes and stuff a lot. The event that reveals all the armies or the events for $100 seems OP. I don't mind. I actually don't mind that one. It is fun to get an encounter now and then. I like a few OP encounters. It's just revealing them. It's not making them worse. So I'm okay with that, I think. Yeah, I get a lot of elevation screws and shit, for sure. Is there a way to distinguish between heavy and light cav in the upgrade tree? Yeah, that's a good question. We don't do that right now, do we? Do drops change based on who you fight? Yes, they do. I might just like allow more types of loot to drop, because there's some things like I actually don't allow musicians to drop as loot, because it felt weird to loot a musician. But if it's just a video game, I wouldn't mind more diversity in the types of items you could acquire through loot, because then it'll get you to try stuff out that you may not try normally. What do you guys feel about like item prices and things like that? For me, I think I had a fine time with the prices of things. I didn't mind that playthrough what the item costs were, really, because I'm seeing people who post that their inventory is overflowing, and I've seen other people as well post units where... Who is the guy who just posted his British units? I mean, look at this. Look at all these items he has on all this stuff. I mean, he could probably be using a bunch of the easy modifiers, I could see, but... Looting musicians is kind of funny. Yeah. My army feels poor until mid-Act 2. Yeah, which is actually okay. I don't think you should feel rich in Act 1, because you have to build up. I feel like the prices are pretty fair, but the difficulty modifiers can make it challenging. Yeah, I do agree. Prices are okay, but the cannons are definitely all over the place. I think they're a bit weird at the moment. powder house items are the only ones that could use a reduction in pricing. I just never get any. Yeah, I could see that too. Like the grenade I bought, I thought was too expensive. Do you plan on changes for the second Act 2? Yeah, we do. What we want to do for that second HQ in Act 3 is to delay it by 30 days once it spawns. So you have a little bit of time to just like get your shit together before you've got to face it. And I think I'll take the first headquarters of Act 3 and actually delay it by a couple weeks on top of that, just to really give the player just a little bit more time for all of that. I could make certain prices lower. I could make some prices lower. But I'm not sure. I do have events that give you musicians and staff officers. Actually, Grabbler, I have both of those. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I wouldn't mind if they were a little bit cheaper because I did find myself in that playthrough. I only had 3 brigades on purpose because I was trying to play tall. But I never even got anybody a bunch of items. Like, it probably would have been worth just filling out 5 brigades with no items. I mean, some of my guys were getting there. Like, I had a couple of those, like the Weymouth or whatever they were called. They were starting to rack up pretty crazy kills when I started to stack items. So the items do stuff. They feel important. But sometimes the trade-off of getting a new regiment, like you could get 3 or 4 items sometimes for the price of an entire regiment. And that can be... yeah. I've never bought any stuff from the Powder House. Yeah, I think the Powder House stuff is too expensive. I also think high-level officers are slightly too expensive. Just slightly. Because when you get to Act 3, and I would even say that also there should be a wider range of officer skills in Acts 2 and 3. Even Act 1 to an extent. Because I feel like you get to Act 3 and everyone has 5 skills and they're all 700. And it'd be nice if there was at least one cheap officer as a replacement you can get if somebody dies. So I think that would be nice. In 90% of my plays, I really buy anything. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to balance that, Kaiser, because if everything is super cheap, then if you sell your loot, you feel like it's worthless and you're poor. But I suppose there would be, like, if you theoretically walk into a shop and everything cost $5, you would buy all of it and just mass equip and become quite powerful. So there's definitely a number. There is a number at which you would see and go, oh, I should just buy everything because this is really good. But I do feel like item prices are slightly expensive in a way that discourages me from buying them. On the contrary, I always get a shit ton of items. They're really cheap and worth getting. Yet they're definitely worth getting. Like I feel like the items really make a difference. I bought stuff from shops last playthrough and it felt good, so I feel like most of them are quite balanced. Yeah. I could see them being 5 or 10 dollars cheaper in like across the board for almost everything. And this way, if you were buying 4 or 5 items, you're saving $40 or $50. And that $40 or $50 might go to a refill on ammo or on food. So this way, you would buy the same amount of items, but now you are saving enough that you might just get one little extra batch of food or ammo. I'm not buying much at all in Act 1. Yeah, I don't buy much at all in Act 1 either because the plunder loot is not very... You're getting only a couple $100 a battle. I do buy a lot in Act 2 as well, I agree. I buy a lot in all acts, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about how you guys feel. I wouldn't mind if it was down by 5 or 10. And then the powder house could be like 10 or 20 on some of those items because they are overpriced. There's stuff in there that's like 250, but it's not worth that amount in the kills it's going to get you. I like the balance now. You can be strategic and save money to get more troops early. Yeah, that's true. Does debased currency affect bartering? Because it wouldn't make sense for your items to be worth less just because their currency is debased. I don't remember what that does. Does debased currency mean they're not giving you as much money for the... There's like a bunch of inflation. I'm on board with all the items getting a price reduction. The powder house does need some serious rebalancing. Yeah. Debased currency is a minus 20% item sale. Okay. Yeah, I suppose they just don't want to give you as much money because there's inflation. And so people have less expendable income. And people are trying to save because their money is becoming worthless. So they don't want to go and buy your stuff. Don't over tinker too early. Let it cook for a while. Yeah, I agree. CCR, most of the changes I'm thinking of making are like little 5 or 10%, tiny little tweaks here and there, just little tiny adjustments. I don't think it would be appropriate to overhaul anything at this time. I do have a tendency to tinker with a lot of things, but I definitely don't think we need to overhaul anything. But just sometimes little tweaks can go a long way. Sometimes like giving the player an extra week against the headquarters. If I'm noticing most players are delaying the HQ constantly using the modifier, then it might be a good idea just pushing it back just a little bit. For me, it seems like only good quality items are worth buying. Common items can just be looted. Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of their purpose, Max. That's kind of the purpose. It's hard to make the common items worth it if you get them as loot so often anyways. Like, why would you even buy them if you can get most of them as loot? And then the solution then would be that you just don't get them as loot. And then you have to buy them, but you probably wouldn't because you're just going to go for the higher quality ones anyways that are more impactful. Like I said, though, if I lower the prices, it's going to bring everything down a bit. It's actually going to be it'll disproportionately affect the lower tier items. Because one cool thing is if an item was 35 and then the highest quality version of it, I don't know, was 85, and then the next one was 145. If you brought everything down by 10, okay, here's what happens if you just bring all the prices down by 10. What happens is 35 to 25 is what percentage reduction? That is a 20% discount by doing that. And then this is now a 10% discount. And then this is now a 6% discount. So if you just moved everything down, reducing all prices by 10. If you just moved everything down by 10, you could make these common items way more collectible and be like, oh, I can just pick a bunch of those up because they're 30% cheaper than what they used to be. But the excellent and really valuable items are really only going down by a little bit. And like that'd be nice to just do a blanket minus 10 on a lot of things. And just make things a little bit easier. Again, I don't want to just start swinging the balance all over the place, but I'm just kind of spitballing some just like little things I may want to touch up. I agree, Kaiser. I already have it written down that the HQ picks up way too much speed way too quickly. I agree. It shouldn't be as slow as it used to be because players could outrun it, but it's way too fast now. Yeah, auto pathing, I do agree. Improve auto pathing to be slightly less obsessed with roads. I can fix that actually pretty easily. Yeah, the HQ is definitely a missile. Will you make notes, dude? Terrence, you've been in here long enough that you've heard me say like 5 times probably in this stream that I have acknowledged that like a million times. The other thing too is I am not a programmer. I don't handle that part of the AI, but the developer is well aware of the but for officially writing it down, we have a ton of shit officially written down. Look, I mean, we have all of this officially written down, and all of that officially written down. I got a million things, and then look, an AI task list that's also all written down of every little thing that needs to be done with the AI on top of that. We've got a lot of stuff written down, and I've got millions and millions of pages of feedback here. I don't need to write anything else down. Maybe for loot, you should just have to spend a few days to get it. Nah, I don't like that. I think it's okay the way that is. Yeah. Well, anyways, guys. I think I wrote down some good notes. I actually like that some people are like, hey, let the game sit for a while. Don't be so quick to change stuff, because I would love to not have to spend like 8 hours a day on balancing. It'd be cool to let things sit for a bit. So I don't want to make giant sweeping changes right now. It would be nice to let things sit, and I would get more time to work on things like maps, which are fun. So, yep. There actually isn't much to do anymore. Their game's pretty balanced. Yeah, I would say for the most part. Definitely, the artillery nerf was definitely a good improvement for sure. But I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll continue making lots of little improvements and changes, and I'll see you later.